Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome to the Sky's the Limit Limitless event. Here at Sky's the Limit, our heart is to connect entrepreneurs to mentors, business development, and funding opportunities. And today, we get to hear an amazing conversation from a really cool entrepreneur right here on our platform. But before we get started, I want you to check out this video to see all about Sky's the Limit.
Sky's the Limit is the best asset that has come up in the past year. Since 2021, they have been able to support raise of our investments in capital for our business, allowing us to launch our first book, Holistic Money Mindset, Mental Preparation for Abundance. More importantly, they've provided social capital as well. The network within Sky's the Limit is immaculate. From the fellow entrepreneurs I'm able to connect with all the way to the amazing mentors from amazing organizations across the world. My advice to anyone on the fence about joining Sky's the Limit, just do it. My first 2 weeks on the platform, I was very determined to expose myself to the network and met with over 20 mentors. Now, pretty much everyone on my personal and professional mentor list comes from Sky's the Limit. With that being said, you never know until you try, so go ahead and bet on yourself and your business and get on Sky's the Limit.
That was amazing. Man, I love each event we get to do and every story we get to hear. I'm excited to hear yours next. But for now, get ready for this month's Limitless conversation. Welcome back to Limitless. This is April Limitless conversation. This is volunteer awareness month, and I'm excited. We're right here in Tulsa for a special Limitless edition, live in-person conversation. I'm here with a great entrepreneur right on our Sky's the Limit platform, a good friend, somebody I know. Welcome to the Limitless conversation, Tara Payne.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited you're here. I'm excited to have a conversation.
Anytime I'm in your presence, I'm excited.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Same, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? We'll get right into it. Part of this conversation, we're really going to highlight some special entrepreneurs that exist on our platform. And, you know, we live in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
A really now heartbed for startups and entrepreneurs.
That's it.
And it's special. We've been able to work alongside each other in a creative, entrepreneurial co-working space. So I got to learn about you maybe sometime last year, 2022. And so I want to just go deep. Just tell us a little bit about your story. How did you came to Tulsa? You're from Tulsa. And then we'll get a little deeper into something I like to call Eminem. But
Okay.
but I want to just get started. Just tell us a little about who Tara Payne is.
So Tara Payne is, I was born in Tulsa, actually. I didn't grow up here, though. Yeah. I grew up in Bartlesville, which is not far from here.
Yeah.
And so after high school, went to University of Oklahoma.
Come on, OU.
And then, come on, Boomer School.
Come on.
And then from there, came back to Tulsa and started working in various industries.
Yeah.
Then, let's see, met my husband and got married.
Come on.
Come through marriage.
If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Hello, somebody.
Did.
And did.
So we've been married 15 years and we have a daughter.
Yeah.
And us having our daughter was a pivotal point because it wasn't an easy journey.
Yeah.
So we wrote a book about it, number one. But then number two, I thought, man, if I could do this, what else can I do?
Yeah.
So that kind of kicked off the actions towards entrepreneurship. But as a kid, actually, my parents taught us about Black Wall Street. And so that made me curious about being an entrepreneur.
Now, you hit on something special here. Several pieces of special. So much I'm thinking through. You learned about Black Wall Street as a kid is what I'm hearing. I didn't hear about it until I was like maybe late high school, early college.
And your story is more common.
Right,
people
exactly. Which is crazy because I live in Tulsa.
From here,
right. From here. With that acknowledgement, how did that like really transfer? Because you hear about it as a kid, but as you got older and all those things started to like curate and you're in your career and thinking about an idea for a business, how did that really like culminate kind of where you're at today? How did that inspire you?
So for me, like what my dad would tell us, like Black people had airplanes and movie theaters and hotels, right? Yeah. For them, it was a necessity because they couldn't do business anywhere else. Yeah. So then that made me think, okay, when you go into business, you're solving a problem, right? Now, I didn't come to that realization at 12. That came more like 2 years ago. Yeah. But so that helped me to realize that what I'm going to be doing is solving a problem. Honestly, I started a business. I was not trying to start a business, right? I just was like, oh, this is a problem. Let me fill a need. Yeah. And so I think that is the thing about business. Yeah.
So let's go deep. Let's go. What is what is your business? It's Mavens Meet. Tell us a little. What is it? How did it come to be? Walk us through that.
Okay, so actually, I started Payne Creative Consulting in 2020.
Okay.
So we're all at home, right, during
Yeah.
during COVID, and I was like, we got to pay a mortgage. What are we gonna do,
Yeah.
right? So I'm thinking, what can I do that I don't have to go back to school? I really didn't have the desire. I don't have to take a class.
Yeah.
And so then I started doing like an assessment, a self-assessment, like what do I have in my hand?
Yeah.
And then I asked family and friends, like, what am I good at? What would you come to me for? And so found virtual assistants, did some research on that, and started doing virtual assistants for people through Payne Creative Consulting. So starting that, but then I came to the ecosystem here in Tulsa and started working at 36 part-time.
Yeah.
And when I told people what I did, they were like, oh, I need a virtual assistant. And I'm like, well, I'm not taking any more clients because I don't have capacity right now. But I'll introduce you to somebody, right? So I started making connections with people to work with other people. Then, this is so much. This is a long answer. Sorry.
You good. You good. We here.
Then the building Tulsa actually had the female founder pitch night. My homegirl Tiff was like, we should pitch. And I'm like, what am I pitch?
Yeah.
She was like, virtual assistants. And I was like, well, I guess I could pitch a platform that connects people and call it Mavens Meet, which works. So that's
where we're here today.
That's where we at.
I love it. As you talk about a specific unique story with your family, 2020 pandemic, that was the cause to like, let me push this in gear.
Yep.
Can you tell us what keeps you motivated day to day now? Like we're 3 years removed from when the pandemic hit. You started the business, you're running. Like what keeps you motivated now?
Ooh, let's see. So daily, just to be able to look at my husband, my daughter, those are two wishes or dreams that I had that I prayed about that are now manifested, right?
Yeah.
So that community, being in community with other people who are doing their thing, that's so important.
Yeah.
Because if I was by myself, I remember my dad told me, like, Tara, you need people. And I was just like, I'm good, I don't need people, right? But I'm so grateful that I found a community where I could be like, okay, Chris, this is what I'm thinking. What do what do you think?
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah. So community, remembering, what I've done in the past and just being in this moment, like, is such a, I don't want to say a high, but it is thinking, oh man, this is something I dreamed about and now we're here.
Yeah.
So that keeps me motivated.
I love it. It's beautiful. Can you tell us how have mentors played a role in your journey as an entrepreneur?
For sure. Critical. So critical. So there are mentors that I've worked with that are here in person through the platform.
Yeah.
So Martha Zapata is one who I didn't even know she was on the platform. She and I were friends before.
Wow.
I got hooked up with the platform and Lauren told me, hey, you should talk to Martha. And I was like, what? That's my friend. Like, let me reach out to her.
I love it.
So Martha, Desiree,
Yeah.
like Leon, Dominic from Act House, so many different people, right? So mentors have played a huge role.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I think there is a uniqueness in your story of like, okay, I have something in my hand. What do I do with it? Who knows something around me to do with this in my hand? Who has had experience? Like I'm gonna be completely. I don't know how. Like I'm gonna figure out how this works, even if I don't have the tools or I don't know everything that's in my resource. Somebody around me, I have a relational equity somewhere around me that can help me to that space. I think so many of us get secluded and feel like I gotta do everything by myself. I gotta figure it out. And the one thing I learned is creativity at its core is not art. It's problem solving. It's how to find and be a solution to a problem. So that's it. You tap into your creative genius. Like I don't have everything in my, but all I have is all I need. Now let me figure out where everything else around me to get this thing into.
Part.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny because all you have, like it's gonna be the good and the bad.
Come on.
Going through 7 years of recurrent miscarriage was not good. But from that, not only did I get my baby, but then I got to tell my story, and that book is able to help other people, and it brings money into my house. So it's just been a double blessing, right? So we got to be willing to use the good and the bad because it's all for our good.
Come on, now you got to plug the book.
Okay, so the book is, lean in, y'all, When Hope Speaks. It was published September 2019.
Come on.
Joseph's Ministry. Shout out Megan Pinckney. She's amazing.
She is.
So go get it. It's on Amazon. You can also get it at my website, TaraDPayne.com.
Come on, I love it. Megan's from Midland, Texas.
Megan is from Midland.
Ain't
Ooh,
nothing
Midland.
down there.
Nothing.
My wife is from Midland. It's just dust. I flew down there. It's just dust and dirt. Like where do we land? Am I
So
safe?
Megan is originally from Louisiana.
Oh.
But she lived in Midland.
I got you.
Yep.
Okay, Louisiana's a little better.
Yeah, it is. I don't. Ooh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about one specific challenge you faced recently over the past year or so as an entrepreneur that you feel like I need to pivot or what's some of that challenge and then how did you go around it?
So you talked about staying encouraged, right? That is a challenge because
Yeah.
some days it's like, yes, let's go. And other days it's like, what am I doing? You know, like, do I really want to do this?
Yep.
And there's days I quit. It's funny because before I started a business, I did like 80 different things. I sold multi-level marketing, like Arbonne, Mary Kay, a bunch of different stuff. And one time I remember in a meeting I think when I sold prepaid legal, they said, you can quit today, but start again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So as many days I quit and I'd be like, I'm done. But then the next day we just get back up.
Yeah.
You know, because the thing that keeps me going is that realizing, like you said, that I'm an answer to somebody's problem.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then, you know, what they gonna do?
That's it. This is good. I hope you taking notes somewhere in your journals, your iPhones, your dumb phones, whatever you got. I love it. Can you tell us around, even funding is a big issue or a big thing in startups.
It is.
It's how do I start? Where do I start? How do I keep the money? You know what I'm saying? What is your approach when it comes to funding? How is your experience being around that?
So initially, I didn't even think I needed funding, right? Because the model that I have, I just, charge one rate and then do 100% markup for doing a connection.
Yeah.
And so then I have that. But it's very important because there's all these different things you have to pay for. You got to pay for your Zoom. You got to pay for, internet. You got to, and so having grants has been a huge help.
Yeah.
So sky's the limit. If you're not on the platform, well, you're on the platform because y'all watch it.
Yeah.
But if your homeboys and homegirls not on the platform, please tell them because it's so important. Because you need that capital. That's a lot of times when I got discouraged is when I'm like, I don't have money to do nothing else.
Yeah.
But so grants, pitch competitions, all of that has been very helpful.
I love it. I love it. And one thing I remember we were able to give a grant out here in Tulsa to an entrepreneur. And what she said was it was obviously the grant that she received was phenomenal. It helped. It was fantastic. But what she identified was it was the grant dollar was the cherry on top. What was really valuable is I felt seen. I felt like what I did in the community was like, yeah, we see you. We love it. Let's keep going. And that was the energy she needed to
That's
keep.
so true.
You know what I'm saying?
So
And so
true.
it was that space. And I think that's the special part of the work we get to do. It's like, yes, we want to come along and aid mentorship and funding opportunities, but the value is like we see you.
Yeah, it's validation,
That part,
It's just like, okay, I'm doing this, somebody sees me, and it's making a difference.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how I
yeah.
felt. I was like, what? Me? Oh my God.
Little old me. I love it. You talked around your family, very important piece in your journey. How do you balance the family priority and the work and the business? How do you balance that space?
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Because often, honestly, I love what I do so much.
Yeah.
I could just work, like the prophetess Rihanna
Work.
said. Hey. And so it takes my daughter, like at one time, I think she was 4 or 5, and she was like, Mommy, if you don't have a laptop, you got a phone. And I'm like, oh my God.
They'll point it out real quick.
My husband, bless his heart, he will just roll with the punches. But she was like, I want to spend time with you. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want anybody else. And so I'm like, okay, thank you. That's a check because it is easy to get off balance, right? So what I started doing was putting appointments for myself in there, and having a start time and an end time, like 5 o'clock or 6. It's time to cut it off because then my daughter's gonna come home.
Yeah.
It's homework time, and she wants to be plugged in. So, I mean, it's something that's constantly evolving. But
Yeah, I love it. As speaking to someone's out there that's watching, they're on this space of, I think I want to start it. I'm questionable if I have enough resources. Will anybody buy my things, or like if it's dumb. I like it, but what words of wisdom or encouragement would you speak to that person that's like on the fence of starting in their journey?
start.
Yeah.
Because that's the hardest part. Like we think in our mind, like, and that was me. I was like, okay, iteration number 999.
Yeah.
Let me think about it this way. And you're just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
Like you just start,
Yeah.
and then the thing is, I think people don't start because they want it to be perfect, but it's not going to be perfect. And when you start, you're going to realize that, oh, version 1
Yeah.
might not be the ending version,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
version 1 gets me to version 10,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's good.
So I would say start where you are and use what you have.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's great. It's special, even in your journey, of where Mavens Meet and all these things have come to fruition. What would you say are some future goals for yourself and the company?
So adding to the team,
Yeah,
creating a platform that actually
Yeah.
connects the VAs with
we're
the
going
founders.
in the tech space. Is that
Going
what
in the tech space.
Come on, tech.
Listen,
Come
we're
on.
boldly going to go where
Come on, boldly.
no Maven has gone
There,
before.
there we go. I love it.
Oh my God. I mean, and hopefully like to go to different cities and
Yeah,
make
yeah.
Mavens Meet a thing everywhere, you know,
yeah.
because for me, it's not necessarily about connecting VAs to founders. It is, but it's about giving people time back.
Yeah.
We're giving these founders time back, and we're giving these VAs time back, because they're oftentimes, my story was that I was in positions that I had to be there. And so that's how I found myself at home, like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, yeah.
So then I thought, well, I've never had the flexibility to work remotely. So what can I do that's gonna allow me that?
Yeah.
So
That's strong. That's strong. Any can you tell everybody where they can find you, and any last words you want to add
yeah,
in
so
this
you can
space?
find me on Instagram. At Mavens Meet is the business page. You can also find me my personal page.
Yeah.
Now, on that personal page, y'all just gonna get me, just me, right? It's at Tara_in_Tulsa. Also, you can go to mavensmeet.com.
Yeah.
And any last words? Like, you've been thinking about it, or you're already doing it. Like, you owe it to yourself to go all in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just see what it's gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Tara Payne here today. I'm so glad that we got to hang out
Me
today.
too.
This is special.
Thank you.
I think
I
so
feel
many of us are going to be encouraged, given the ability, like, yes, I'm gonna do it. Like this is the starting space for somebody.
Yes.
Somebody watching this 15-minute episode is gonna be like, this is what I
hope
needed to get going. And I hope that's for you. And I'm so glad you got a chance to tune in today. Make sure you check us out every month for our Limitless conversations. It's gonna be amazing entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And a lot of, maybe we may do something in person. We may pop up in
You might be
You
next.
might be next. We'd love to hear your story. And check us out next month for our next conversation. Be blessed. Have a great day.
What just happened? Like, I have a notebook full of notes. Like, my head is about to explode. That conversation was amazing. And I'm excited for what it'll do in and through your business. Make sure you stay tapped into all that Sky's the Limit has to offer. Check out the funding tab at the top of your page for every month's family and friend grant. Meet new people, connect with new entrepreneurs, connect with new volunteer mentors. And we can't wait to see you for next month's Limitless Conversation. Deuces.